Fala comigo! Jadson Silva na área. E aí, galera, beleza? Friozinho que tá fazendo, hein? Então, no vídeo anterior eu falei sobre dois pontos. Um foi sobre a questão da quantidade de pessoas aqui no Brasil que fala o inglês, né? Que foi de 5%, e falei alguns motivos pelo qual nós aqui no Brasil só temos 5% da população que fala a língua inglesa. E um outro ponto foi sobre as pessoas que, depois de certa idade, elas acham que elas vão ter dificuldade de aprendizado devido à idade. Isso aí acontece muito aqui no nosso país. E para dar uma exemplificada, eu convidei um amigo que já tem mais de 60 e que está aprendendo dois idiomas. Um é o português e o outro é o tereu, que é a língua indígena da Nova Zelândia. Então fica ligado aí. Ó, e já dá um like e já compartilha aí com outras pessoas aí. Eu te garanto que tem muita gente que está interessado nesse vídeo aí. Então compartilha aí com seu amigo, já clica aí naquela setinha de compartilhamento, dá um like, comenta no vídeo também, que você pode fazer perguntas ali e eu vou estar te respondendo, até dando sugestão de outros vídeos. Valeu, rapaziada! Hi, my friend Peter, how are you?
I'm good. Tudo bem. Tudo bom. How about you? How are you, Jay?
I'm very good, thanks. So, Peter, you are learning Portuguese and Tereu. So, can you tell me in Portuguese what is your difficulties about learning a new language?
Ah, it's difícil para mim para quando a gente fala, é difícil por compreender porque uh, a gente fala muito quickly.
Muito rápido.
Muito rápido. But I need to say to you, my friend, you must know that, and this is a reflection of my age. I'm not going to say my age, but I am in the 60s, the decade of the 60s. And it's the reason I've actually kind of put my Portuguese learning on hold, because I have noticed that it's harder to learn things as you age. And that can be quite mentally challenging because you get sort of angry with yourself. Because it was very easy for me to learn when I was a student. I could pick things up really quickly and memorize things very rapidly. And now, for example, with my Tereo, the Maori studies that I'm focusing on, our teacher said, yeah, well, one of the tests you'll have to take is you'll have to read this description of your ancestry, your family tree.
Right.
You can have a few words to remind you, but basically you just have to. And I just felt myself going because it is much harder to memorize things at my age, you know.
Okay.
I like to say I'm a computer with a hard drive, but not really, because a hard drive you can add more memory. But
Right.
humans, that's much tougher. So I was feeling nervous about it. And I went to my teacher and I said, teacher, I had this problem in level 1 that we were under pressure to memorize things. And I just think I tried to discuss it with my last teacher, and I want to discuss it with you, that out of respect for the mental conditioning of an older brain, it is much harder. I used to learn big speeches for plays and things and perform. Now I just couldn't do it. And so I said, I hope that you allow me to have the full text in front of me. I'll look down to make sure I'm confident, but I won't be reading it. But I do want to have everything there so that if I get lost, because what happens as you age, that anxiety can leap in really quickly. So if you're feeling lost, you suddenly become frozen, and I don't want to go there.
Yeah, I know.
Answer to a short question.
Yeah. No, thanks very much. So you said it's much harder, but it's not impossible.
No, not impossible at all. In fact, quite the contrary. It's a wonderful feeling. It's on the positive side. It's very stimulating and exciting to be learning things. You know, that's a very positive thing. But when it's come easy to you when you were younger, you could say the same. You can no longer run up a hill, but that in a way is easier to manage because you sort of accept that more reasonably, that you can't play rugby or you can't surf or whatever the way, or ski or whatever you used to do.
Yeah.
You sort of hope that your brain will remain good a long time because you've got a lot of years where you're not so physically able. So when you feel that your brain is not functioning as well, it can get a bit stressful.
Yeah, I know. Like, you have a very great improvement on Portuguese. So you were studying hard. So if you're gonna give a tip for a person who is starting to study a language right now, so what is gonna be the first step, and also like for how long this person
Yeah.
is gonna like get a level to be fluent, or to be able to talk for a foreigner.
Well, I think that what I'm actually learning from studying Terreo is something that they're very good at, building confidence and knowledge through many different means. And so, for example, one of the things that we have to achieve during this course is what it's your whakapapa, your rako whakapapa, which is your family tree. And so we have to go back 4 generations and then fill it out. And we have to be able to use the Maori language to describe the relationships and who the people are. So this learning is supported through art. I mean, I regard myself as a terrible artist. I feel really embarrassed about what I draw, but that is something I've had for a long time. But our teacher's very encouraging. You know, we have the colored pens and we draw pictures, and it's the supportive learning. And for example, everything we do, even the simplest things we learn, after we've done them, we present them. Each one of us goes around all 20 students, and so we have a chance to present it. So we learn it. Our learning is supported by artwork and discussion, and often we work in little groups, so you're not struggling by yourself. But when you've all got it done with all that, the art and the support, then you also have the sharing. And so that that sharing, not only you get over your own anxieties, but you're supported because everyone else is also sharing and feeling anxious and stressed, and you feel their anxiety, and that's very supporting because you realize without anyone saying it that we're all sharing the journey together. And Maori are very skillful and an inclusive style of teaching and learning that embraces a whole variety of learning styles. And I think when I look back on my education, it was a very limited style of just a teacher teaching you and writing notes. And it worked easily for someone like me with a photographic memory. But I can think many friends of mine who struggled and were never given a chance, were just thought of as being not smart because they were just delivered this one method of learning. And I'm very impressed how the style of teaching for Terreo is this. It's sort of like how you would teach a child in kindergarten, a 4-year-old, the way you
Right.
positively go about sharing knowledge with a 4-year-old. That's actually a model for all learning and teaching.
All right. So great, my friend. So great. Thank you very much. Thank you.
My pleasure, as always. And I look forward to seeing your bright, smiling face a week from now.
Okay.